Wisdom of Nagarjuna. Mahaprajnaparamitasastra. Etienne Lamotte. Composed by the Bodhisattva Nagarjuna and translated by the Tripitaka Kumarajiva of the land of Kucha. Under the later sin. Translated from the French. By Galongma Karma Migmi Chodron 2001. Chapter 43 The Pursuit of the Six Superknowledges. First section Becoming established in the Six Superknowledges. Sastra. I. Qualities of the Sixth Superknowledge. In the Sanpyu Sap above p. 3-3f the Prajnaparamita Sutra spoke of the Bodhisattva possessing 5 abhijnas. Why does it speak here of the Bodhisattva wishing to become established in the 6 abhijnas? Answer. The first 5 abhijnas are possessed by the Bodhisattva, but here the 6 abhijnas in which the Bodhisattva wants to be established are possessed by the Buddha. If the Bodhisattva possessed the 6 abhijnas, he would be a Tathagata. Question. However, in the Wang Cheng Pin, the Prajnaparamita Sutra will say, there are bodhisattvas established in the 6 abhijnas who go from Buddhafield to Buddhafield. Why then do you say that the bodhisattvas possess only 5 abhijnas? Answer. The 6th abhijna, or knowledge of the destruction of the impurities, is of 2 kinds. 1. Simultaneous elimination of the impurities and their traces. 2. Elimination of the impurities but not of the traces. The traces not being eliminated, we say that the bodhisattvas possess 5 abhijnas. The traces being eliminated, we say that they are 4b established in the 6 abhijnas. Question. How can the bodhisattva whose impurities are eliminated be reborn and assume a birth? Any taking of birth results from the flow of desires. Just as rice, even though it is planted in good soil, does not germinate when moisture is lacking. So the saints, once liberated from the husk of desire, although still in possession of defiled actions, causes and conditions of birth, cannot return to existence. Answer. As I have said earlier, the bodhisattva reaches dharmaniyama and becomes established in the avaivartikabhumi. When his last fleshly body has disappeared, he obtains a body born of the fundamental element. Although he has cut the passions, he still retains their residues and because of them, he takes on a body born of the fundamental element, not a birth in the threefold world. Question. Among the arhats as well the passions are cut while the traces are not. Why are they not reborn? Answer. Contrary to the bodhisattva, the arhats have neither great loving kindness nor great compassion, and they have not made the earlier vow to save all beings. Having realized the culminating point of reality, they abandon samsara definitively. Furthermore, I said previously that there are 2 kinds of destructions of the impurities. Here it is not a question of a bodhisattva possessing the abhijna of the destruction of the impurities but of a bodhisattva wishing to become established in the 6 abhijnas and, to this end, to practice the perfection of wisdom. On the meaning of the 6 abhijnas, see what the Buddha will say in the following chapters. Above, in the Sanpyu Pin chapter, I have also explained the meaning of the 5 abhijnas of the bodhisattva. Order of the superknowledges. Question. What is the order of the abhijnas? Answer. 1. Order generally accepted by the canonical sutras. A. Abhijna of magical power. A. Kamanadi. The bodhisattva detached from the 5 objects of enjoyment. Possessing the trances, endowed with loving kindness and compassion, takes the abhijna in the interest of beings and manifests wondrous and marvelous things so that the minds of beings may be purified. Why? If he did not perform miraculous things, he would not be able to lead many beings to find salvation. Having thought thus, the bodhisattva mahasattva fixes his mind on the element of space inherent in his own body and eliminates the idea of coarse heavy matter. Constantly noting within himself the nature of emptiness lightness, he produces great minds of vigorousness, energy, wisdom and examination which have the power to raise the body. before any examination, he knows himself that the power of his mind is so great that it can raise up his body as one does when walking. Destroying any idea of the heaviness of matter and always cultivating the notion of lightness, he then can fly. B. Nirmanadi. Secondly, the bodhisattva can also transform things. He makes the earth become water, and water become earth, wind become fire, and fire become wind. He is able to transform all the great elements. He makes gold change into gravel and gravel change into gold. He can transform all these things. To change earth into water. He thinks of water unceasingly and increases it until he no longer thinks of earth. At that moment, the earth becomes water in accordance with his mind. The bodhisattva can transform all these kinds of things. Question. If that is so, how are the superknowledges different from the spheres of totality? Answer. The krtsnayatanas are the first path of the abhijnas. Preliminary 4c to the krtsnayatanas, the vimoksas and the abhibhvayatanas make the mind flexible. Then it is easy to enter the abhijnas. Moreover, in the krtsnayatanas, there is only a single person to notice that the earth has been changed into water. Other people do not see it at all. This is not so in the abhijnas. The ascetic himself really sees water and other people really see the water as well. Question. However, the krtsnayatanas are great concentrations also. Why are they unable to give real water, seen by both the ascetic and other people as well? Answer. The krtsnayatanas have a very vast field of vision. What happens is that everything takes on just the characteristics of water but does not truly become water. The abhijnas, on the other hand, do not include everything, but what happens is that the earth changes into water and that is real water. The result is that these two concentrations each have their own special power. Question. One of two things. The things transformed by these two samadhis are either true or false. If they are true, how does stone become gold and how does earth become water? If they are false, how can the Aryas become free of these fallacious practices? Answer. All these practices are true and the Aryas are not in error, for they have eliminated the threefold poison. No dharma has a fixed nature. Each of them can be changed into earth or become water. Thus, as a result of their solidity, cheese, glue, bird lime and leather belong to the type earth, but if they are brought near fire, they melt, become water. And take on a moist nature. Water, exposed to the cold, solidifies, becomes ice and takes on a solid nature. Stone when compressed becomes gold, gold when decompressed changes into copper or returns to stone. For beings, it is the same. The bad can become good and the good can become bad. This is why we know that no dharma has a fixed nature. The transformations brought about by the power of the abhijnas are real and not false. If each thing had a fixed nature originally, it could never be transformed. C. Ayadi. Thirdly, the noble magical power is to have domination dependent on good pleasure over the 6 sense objects. 1. Faced with a pleasant object, to produce a notion of unpleasantness. 2. Faced with an unpleasant object, to produce a notion of pleasantness. 3. Eliminating both the notions of